Stepping through the rift was the most painful thing I had ever experienced. Pain seared my skin, and it felt like someone had lit me on fire. I tried to scream, but the pressure on my chest wouldn't allow me to do anything but hang there, suspended in the heat and the pain. My mind went back to just before Carlos and I stepped through. He watched me uneasily, and I fidgeted with my jacket nervously. "Well," I said, stepping towards the roaring vortex, "last one in is the smarter of the two of us." I smiled, trying for a false bravado as I turned my back to Carlos, half of me hoping he wouldn't step through the vortex, the other half wishing I hadn't. There was no sense of movement, but somehow I knew I was moving. Suddenly my hands struck hard, jagged stones, and my skin split and bled almost instantly. Cursing none too softly, I forced my legs to support my weight again and looked around. "Carlos," I called, looking over the eerie landscape. "Carlos," I called again, walking in what I hoped was the right direction. I spotted him then, a spot of stark white against the murky gray surroundings. He rolled across the jagged stones and cursed as I had done when his shoulders split open, leaving a splotch of red to grow through the stark white of his shirt. He got to his feet slowly, stiffly, as though he was just getting out of bed after a hard workout. "Did we make it, Dante?" he asked quietly, his light brown eyes glancing up at me. I nodded solemnly, meeting his gaze. "Yeah, we made it," I said, plastering a grim smile on my face. "Welcome to Purgatory." He didn't return my smile, and instead turned his gaze to the surroundings. I looked around again, looking for landmarks or points of reference we could use to get back when I felt a heaviness sinking in the pit of my stomach. It was a gruesome reflection of our own world, but it wasn't solid. The buildings and trees would flicker in and out of existence, just like the creatures terrorizing our world did, and I was inexplicably repulsed. Carlos jumped back suddenly as the flickering street exploded with motion. Two lesser demons struggled over something dark red and slimy that we could smell before we could see. The creatures were gone with their rotting meat as suddenly as they had come. Fragments of sound whispered around us on the scorching wind, creating an eerie kind of echo of life. "That's all they are," I whispered to myself. "Echoes of reality." Carlos shot me a concerned look and I waved it away. "Just thinking out loud," I assured him. We walked along, our tennis shoes crunching over the hot gravel as we went, and I felt a sudden wave of embarrassment. Who would mistake us for heroes? Carlos was wearing a white, albeit bloody, t-shirt and acid wash jeans with his favorite pair of sneakers, and I was wearing a black t-shirt under a black hoodie zipped halfway, with my dark blue jeans and black and red tennis shoes. We were just teenagers. Who were we trying to be? We weren't heroes. We were pathetic. I dropped heavily to my knees and gave myself over to the bitter laughter and feeling of utter despair that had been building in me the whole time we walked.